Okay, now I'm recording.
Cool.
Okay, we're clapping in now because when I was editing the last episodes, we didn't clap in for a solid 20 fucking minutes. And I was like, I figured it out.
Something we would do.
I figured it out halfway through. I was like, okay, this sounds like the conversation. And I wound up being correct, but after we clapped in, I was like, I'm never allowing this to happen ever again. So we're clapping in right now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Cool.
Awesome.
So I have a topic for discussion. It's a little quick thing, but before we recorded, I texted you saying that I was going to heat up a taco to avoid crunching into the microphone while we were recording, because I had some leftover Taco Bell, and
because no one wants to hear that. Well, I don't know. Actually, some people would want to hear that.
Yeah, that's like an
Not
ASMR thing, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I hate ASMR.
It sounds just so unpleasant. I couldn't do it.
It makes me viscerally upset. My friend Nelly is really into ASMR, and played a video of it in the car while we were eating Sonic, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw you out of this car and drive home without you.
Horrible. Oh my god.
We're eating food. I can't listen to.
I heated up this fucking taco, and it was a crunchy taco, and I was like, okay, wonderful. I'm gonna have a little snacky snack before recording, and I unwrap it. This taco was basically liquid form. The shell,
very crunchy.
I didn't have to worry about crunching because, get this.
Okay, let me see if I can get it.
Fucking get this. This thing softened so much. I am not even shitting you. I had to eat this taco with a spoon.
I literally was just thinking, he's gonna say he ate this taco with a spoon. This melty, gross, goobly taco with a spoon.
It wasn't horrible, but it was definitely I guess I don't have to worry about crunching. I was just leaned over the counter like an animal, just shoveling taco.
But now you'd have to worry about making a much worse noise into the mic, which is a
and crumbly noises and fuck. Just a ton of damn it.
Damn it, it's my shirt. My favorite shirt.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Kitchen noises, clinking. Okay, I have a spoon. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got a sponge to wipe out the stain.
This is our ASMR episode.
That's what we could title this episode. Make thousands of views. ASMR episode.
Yeah, we could tag it as ASMR and just get a ton of people be like, what the fuck is this? Then they have to listen to our nonsense. Speaking of ASMR, I'm currently drinking coffee, but I won't subject the listeners to that.
Oh, but you subjected me to it.
Yeah.
Leo went off air, went into the mic and just made the most awful slurping noises. And then when I laughed at him, he looked at me and said, "Coffee." As if that's an excuse for this kind of behavior.
I slurp, John. It's what I do. Did you have something that you wanted to talk about at the beginning?
Yeah, so I have a couple little things. I have a very, very little quick thing. This weekend, the new Sonic game, Sonic Team Racing, or Team Sonic Racing, I think it's Team Sonic Racing, was released to widespread. It's okay. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard it's fine.
Oh, I didn't know it came out. I thought it was just announced that they were gonna do it eventually.
No, it was it's been gearing up for a couple months now.
Okay.
But so most of the cast is returning from previous entries, but there's a couple of new additions.
Oh, fantastic!
One of which is they recast the character Silver the Hedgehog.
The most forgettable Sonic character.
Yeah, and they look, I don't know all the details, but the guy who's voicing Silver now in the Sonic the Hedgehog games is the guy who sings Fingers in His Ass. the Kanye Sans song, Fingers in His Ass Sunday, is the voice of Silver the Hedgehog. The look on your face says it all. I was not expecting this response. I think we have to cancel the podcast. I broke Leo. I dismantled him from the core.
Hey, Jessie. So we're recording on a Sunday.
Yeah, we sure are. I saw like the moment I woke up, I saw like 2 or 3 different Fingers in His Ass Sunday jokes on Tumblr, and I was like, oh my god, I'm talking about this on the podcast later today.
We need to link to that video, because it's a very good video.
Oh god.
Tag the video as Fingers in His Ass Sunday. A very special Best Boys, a very special Fingers in His Ass Sunday edition.
A very special Fingers in His Ass special.
The reason I knew about this game coming out was because there was like a new trailer for it that was released not too long ago.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the same team who did Sonic Mania Adventures. The series of like little shorts. Yeah,
it's really cute. The art style is like fucking adorable.
Yeah, super cute little animations.
I
think it's Team Sonic Racing Nitro. No, that's a Crash Racing game. Why is everyone releasing like racing games right now?
Mario Kart's popular? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, but like we just got the Sonic game like this week, and in like a month we get the remake of the Crash Racing game from like the PlayStation 1. Is like coming out in like a month. It's like, why is it all congregating like right now? Do they know something that we don't? Is Mario
because
Kart...
we've been good this year.
Oh, okay, cool.
They're giving us lots of racing games because we've been good this year.
There's not going to be a single coal in this GameStop. There's only going to be.
Hello, I'd like to purchase Kirby for the Nintendo console. I'm sorry, you've been very naughty.
You own a Switch.
I don't. Tyler does.
Right. But you live in the same house as a Switch. You should know what it's called.
I exist in the vicinity of a Switch.
You live with a diagnosed gamer.
Yeah. Hello, I'd like to purchase Kirby for the Nintendo. Oh, I'm sorry, you've been very naughty this year. You get coal instead. Okay, GameStop employee, you call the shots. But cool. The reason I knew even about that trailer that dropped for Sonic Team Racing fast game, very fast game, was because like a specific person that I follow on my Tumblr. Do you ever like notice when somebody like just randomly gets into something, or is like definitely going through like a specific tag where they just reblog like the same type of shit over and over and over?
Yeah. I wonder.
Don't call me out. 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 So
Leo's been posting non-stop Moomin stuff.
I love Snufkin so much.
Leo's madly in love with Snufkin from Moomin.
His voice is nice. John Chancer reads audiobooks. That's so cool.
You got butterflies listening to that one John Chancer book.
It was The Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah.
And it was like the most boring passage ever. He was like describing like fields of wheat and like the weather and like workers driving trucks, and I was like, Snufkin's reading me a book.
Oh my god.
But anyway, this person was like reblogging a shit ton of stuff about the new Sonic trailer, and also a lot of fan art of Knuckles and Shadow holding hands and stuff and like being cute.
Fun.
And I was like, huh, okay.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing I could be subjected to on my dash.
Mm-hmm.
It's better than when people just like randomly reblog a bunch of shit about K-dramas that I've never seen nor have any desire to see anything about.
Yeah, or Moomin stuffing art.
Oh god. Have to block some freaks.
Yeah, also, we can cut this out. It doesn't really matter. Or we can leave it in. I don't care. So, the Sonic thing, because the Sonic Twitter did a little thing this weekend. And one of the things was, hey, send us a question and we'll answer it with Sonic this, and Shadow and Eggman. And Gushers sent in a thing. And Shadow, the voice of Shadow, Kirk Thornton, said, "I'll take this one. Silence, Brand." And look, here's the thing. I'm very ashamed to say it. I'm not immune to propaganda because I went out and I bought some Gushers because it gave me a craving.
You could, yeah.
I know. I'm terrible. I'm the problem.
I fucking hate. I mean, you can't just opt out of capitalism.
Yeah,
Sometimes you gotta eat some Gushers. I get it.
but like, it just like I just thought about Gushers and I was like, shit. Now I'm thinking about Gushers. And you know what? Now I kind of want some Gushers.
I hate that.
I hate it. I hate
that.
I hate it. I hate it.
Jesse's
it so
kicked off the
much.
podcast.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm banned from communism.
You're a capitalist shill.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Best Boys Podcast. I'm not doing that.
No, we're leaving that one in.
Nope.
We
Nope.
got to.
I'm editing this one. I called
Yeah,
it.
that's true.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Best Boys Podcast, a show by film students, but not just for film students. I'm your host, Leo.
And I'm the other one, Jessie. So here's the thing. Right before we get into the actual meat and potatoes of this episode, I wanted to update everyone on how I'm doing. So,
Me personally.
look, I went. Last week was interesting.
Cool little throwback to our previous episode, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. So, the medication has gotten better. I'm not pooping all the time anymore. Until. So last week, I very unfortunately ran out of medication. At the same time, I ran out of money, so I could go get more medication. So I was so instead of asking my parents, hey, I need more money because I'm bad at using money wisely, and I had to read Gwenpool Volume 4 and 5.
I had to. It was life and death.
It really was.
Okay, update us on your bowels.
Okay. So
The meat and potatoes of this episode is now Jesse's bowels.
But anyway, instead of telling my parents, hey, I need money because I'm bad at, using money correctly, and I need just like $5 more so I can go to Publix and refill my prescription, I didn't, and just went off medication for a couple days.
Okay.
And look, this is I'm not endorsing this. I'm not encouraging this. I'm not recommending this. Do not do it. I had a really bad go of it. Not like emotionally, I'm like okay and whatever, but like I felt physically dizzy for like a couple days.
Yeah, it sucks.
It was rough. But more relevant to this podcast, I got back on medication. I got more money. And
I don't like that smile.
I was free from the poop for a bit. And then it just came right back tumbling down.
Oh, fantastic.
But now, with the added caveat of now I pee all the time, too. I literally, no joke, I went to the bathroom like 5 times last night. And I did not drink that much yesterday.
Jesse, you are expelling waste from every orifice.
Including my mouth, saying this on air right now.
Yup.
This is waste.
I have to be privy to this.
And so do our listener.
Very funny.
Yeah.
Excellent joke. Top notch.
Thank you. We've made the same joke like 4 times.
Yeah.
4 times. This is our 9th episode.
Okay, so to the actual meat and potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got some splaining to do. This is going to be our Best Boys season finale because after some discussion and after some trial and error, just like running this podcast and like figuring out like what kind of stuff comes easiest and what kind of stuff is like a little more difficult, we've decided to kind of take a break from Best Boys, mostly because Jessie and I don't have studio classes in school for like the rest of the year. So we're not going to have a whole lot of projects to really talk about. Obviously, be working on stuff in our free time. Like, there's something that I was wanting to talk about later on in the podcast, and Jessie has some, like, scripts that we were going to discuss. But, Best Boys is going to, from here on out, be more of an as-needed sort of podcast. No, like, really set schedule. Not that we had one to begin with, but, like, we're not going to make an effort to churn out episodes if there's nothing to talk about. So we are developing a new podcast called Boyz Deep Dive, and we are going to be recording that this weekend, and I need to, like, do the thumbnail for it and the, like, assets for it. But we are launching a new podcast called Deep Dive, and we are basically just going to take... It's basically our podcast now where we just go off on tangents and talk about stupid bullshit. But Deep Dive is going to be more of a structured version of that, where we, like, okay, today's topic is, like, I don't know, another Transformers episode. And we will have, like, actual research, actual, like, an outline. It's going to be, like, relatively educational, but still fun, obviously. It's not just going to be, like, a lot of the stuff that we have lined up to talk about is mostly, like, media that we enjoy or whatever. But it could also be like, like one episode that I wanted to do was to talk about the Hays Codes in Hollywood and like, I don't know, maybe like this period of history or whatever. It's not necessarily film or media related all the time, but this is kind of a way for us to continue recording, continue making content, continue like making a podcast together because we have a lot of fun doing it, but we are kind of freeing ourselves up a little bit so we don't have to feel bad for talking about the shit that we enjoy because that's no fun at all.
Yeah. Although I will say we should probably keep it in the realm of like pop culture, like something or other.
Yeah.
So we're not like, I'm gonna do an episode on croquet or whatever, on like the history of croquet.
Yeah, nothing
because like that's more like we'll leave that to like Do Go On or like a podcast like that.
Also, the history of croquet sounds like the most boring shit in the universe.
Yeah.
But, like, but yeah, we're launching a new podcast so we can continue making content without feeling guilty about talking about things that we're passionate about. So, so yeah, this is the season finale for our kind of like trial run for Best Boys. I think it was okay. We had fun. We figured out what works and what we found out what works and what doesn't.
And ultimately, something that works is getting a thumb drive so you can hold multiple episodes and files on your computer at a time, so you don't have to delete a file on the bravado that you'll like re-download it later and then forget to re-download it and delete it permanently, and so you can never finish editing that episode.
Yeah, we had some issues, and both of our computers are fucking terrible, so we're we're just gonna have fun with it, and that's all that we can really like expect from each other. Because I like doing this. I enjoy having like external motivation to work on this project, and like I think Deep Dive would be something that we could do more consistently, because we always have shit to talk about. We always like Jessie will just call me and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna read you the entire Rednecks band website. Buckle in, idiot." So now we're gonna have to. Now we're subjecting you guys to that as well.
Mm-hmm. I also want to. Yeah, I definitely want to talk about Rednecks, and like I have a list of like direct-to-DVD kids movies and like Disney sequels and whatever I want to talk about.
Do we want to talk about do you want to mention like what our first episode is going to be? Because you've already like prepared for it.
It's Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers. I've had to watch this film like 3 times working on like the research component, like making notes and whatever. It's one of those movies where like I notice something new every time I watch it, but like
not in a good way.
Well, we'll determine whether or not it's in a good way.
I'm excited. I've seen that movie once on a car ride when I was like 8, and I remember it being so boring. Like I was so bored watching this movie.
Here's the thing. We'll get into this when we record the episode, but I will say I don't think I've ever seen a movie where so much happens, but also so much nothing happens.
Yeah.
Like, like so much is going on, but it really just feels like nothing is happening for like 88 minutes, and then it's over.
Well, that certainly did kill 88 minutes. Yeah, so that's exciting. Jesse's gonna kick us off with that episode, and I want to do a Moomin episode because I really like Moomin. Sure. I'm having I'm having a Moomin craze, just like the rest of the internet.
I'm having a little bit of a Homestar Runner craze, unlike most of the internet.
Gotcha.
So I'll definitely like talk about that in an episode, and like, yeah, I also want to talk about like the Pantheon project. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
So it's a thing from MIT that like it ranks like famous people by how famous they are.
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
Yeah, so it's like it compiles like you know, how long is their Wikipedia article? How many times has their Wikipedia article been viewed? How many languages is it in? You know, how many times do people Google this person or whatever?
I'm assuming it takes into account like net worth and shit as well, right?
Maybe. Well, it's also like living and dead. So like Jesus is on the list, and like Aristotle and whatever. Martin Luther. You know, like it's a very like extensive list. I don't think it was updated. I don't think it's been updated since like 2010 or 2011. So it's a little outdated.
Bit dated.
It's a bit dated because like I don't think any of the One Directioners are on it. But I think they would be by now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We play One Direction at... cool segue. I got a new job.
Oh, fantastic, yeah.
I have a new job. I still work at Target, but I'm definitely not going to make it a priority because they're still not scheduling me as much as they should.
And also some of your coworkers are terrible people.
They're not, like, honestly, they're not that bad. Dana sucks. I'm putting Dana on blast because nobody fucking knows who this dude is. But my boss is like, just like straight up was like, yeah, I support Trump. Just like in the break room. I'm like, oh, okay, so you're a bad person. Yikes. Great. Good to know.
Don't just like say that.
Yeah, like how do you, like, are you that like stupid that you don't realize that alienates a lot of people? If you're like, yeah, I support Trump in a room full of minorities. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Also, don't mix work and politics.
Yeah. Like,
especially
you
revealing when you're
revealing that to me like indicates that I cannot trust you at all. Like, cool.
Yeah, especially when you're like in a room full of like you said, like just a bunch of people who are like oppressed by Trump and his like
regime.
Yeah, pretty much.
But anyway, I got a new job. I got a new job as an instructor and assistant at Painting with a Twist. The twist is that you get fucked up. So, I haven't started in...
Or kids' birthday party.
Yeah, also we have kids' birthday parties. So I haven't started instructing yet because I just started.
It seems sort of like the inverse of when Chuck E. Cheese started offering beer to adults.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, there's wine and stuff, but also you could bring little Timmy for their, like, 10th birthday.
Yeah.
But I haven't started instructing yet. I've just been assisting because I'm, like, still in training. I've only been there for, like, a weekend, but my bosses seem to like me, and I'm excited to, like, actually make art for a living in one way or another, and it's just fun. Like, all the people that I work with are really nice, and they think I'm very charming and funny, and they're just, like, it's so weird how, like...
Leo, do you want to know a little secret?
I couldn't even begin to hazard a guess.
You are charming and funny.
But it's, like, baffling to me how little some people know about art and painting, which is, like, not a bad thing at all. Like, it's totally, like, it, like, warms my heart to, like, teach people new things and shit. Yeah. But, like, this one guy, like, didn't know how to hold a brush correctly so that, like, he could make a flat line versus a, like... Because it's, like, it was a flat brush, so he was like, oh, if I make a thick line, how do I hold it? It, like... It seems so intuitive, but it's also, I've been doing it for, like, 2 decades, and it's just, like, crazy to me that, like, people don't know how to paint, or they don't know how colors work, or whatever, and I, like, take my skill level for granted, and, like, it's super cool. I love being able to, like, impart this knowledge on people, but it's like, wow, you, like, don't know shit, do you? And, like, I feel bad.
Wow, you're really dumb as a rock.
Wow, you're an idiot. You don't know how paint works. And, like, I do not think that
murdered.
God. I, like, do not think at all that these people are, like, stupid in any way. It's just, like, really interesting how people just, like, I don't know, people just don't paint very much if they're not artists, which is, like, crazy to me. Because even though I do, like, primarily digital art, like, I still paint, like, decently often, but I guess way more so than the average bear.
Yeah, I don't think I've painted anything in, like, I don't know, probably, like, 4 years.
We dyed
5?
Easter eggs, but that doesn't really count.
That doesn't count.
We didn't use any paintbrushes. My family uses paintbrushes. We'll, like, actually paint on eggs.
So, like, paintbrushes is the sticking point. Okay, so it's been more than 5 years then.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, it's been very significant. Probably since, like, middle school, maybe elementary school. I'm not very good at painting, so I never really bothered with it. I just stuck with, like, coloring and drawing and whatever.
I painted yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, it was for my job, but...
Yeah, Leo!
But, still!
Yeah.
But, okay, the last non-work related thing that I painted was probably, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
You can't be like, whoa, I painted yesterday.
Yeah, but, like, I got this job because I paint a lot. Or I at least know how to paint.
That's like a year ago, if you were like, yeah, I don't think I've had a retail job in, like, a couple years. I was like, wow, I was at a retail job yesterday.
I was at a retail job probably, like, a week ago because the way Target schedules me.
Yeah. Put Target on blast.
Yep, fuck Target. They don't care about their employees, and ever since we implemented ship from store and, like, got higher hours, they just, like... They just don't schedule people. Stop. Anyway, unionize. Fuck Target, I'm putting you on blast.
Yeah, that's fair.
Nobody listens to this. Fuck you, Dana. So you had some... I have, like, 2 other things that I want to mention, but you have some scripts that you wanted to talk about. We should jump into that.
Yeah, okay. So I did about 30 pages of that one script, Northern Lights, that I was doing for my screenwriting class. I did 30 pages of it because that was the minimum that we had to write. And I did not care enough to go over that, especially because I did it mostly in 2 days alongside, like, 14 other assignments.
Jesse's a
Dude.
bad student. Jesse's
I'm
a real bad
really-
student.
I'm doing better this semester. I'm
That's
like
good.
keeping up to date. Yeah.
Please, God, don't stress me out like that ever again.
Yeah.
Because it's not gonna work out in the end at some point.
Yeah,
Like, it's worked out fine, like, every other time, but it's not, like, your luck will run out.
Yeah. I was talking to my new counselor, and I was explaining the situation to her, and she was like, "You did that all in 2 days?" And I said, "Yeah." And she was like, "You must be really smart." And I said, "I don't know." And she was like, "Why do you seem so dismissive of that?" And I was like, "Shit. Maybe I am smart."
No, you're not! If you put it off till the last 2 days, you're not smart. There are many, many, many different kinds of intelligence, but number one should be self-preservation. And you, my friend, did the exact opposite of that. Don't ever do that again.
That's really funny. Anyway, so so now I'm now that I've like, I don't know, I don't really like writing movies as much as I do as much as I like what?
Watching them.
Watching
Complaining
them,
about them.
complaining about them, like, coming up. I like coming up with ideas for movies and like coming up with like outlines and like the basic like idea.
So, that happened.
Yeah, my entire computer just died in an instant.
I have to sneeze. I guess I don't have to sneeze anymore. This is a bad episode.
I think it's good.
It's bad. So last thing I heard you say before your computer crashed was you were talking about you don't like doing things, you like planning to do things.
Yeah, I
and
like.
then your computer just like shit its pants.
Yeah, it really just stopped existing for a hot second. But everything is fine. Nothing is broken yet. And we can continue with that thought. So, I'm working on 2 outlines right now. Okay. How do you think we should proceed? Because I have one that is based on an intellectual property that is not my own, and I have one that is original. For the record, both are superhero, so bear that in mind, because of course they are. You should expect nothing less or more from me.
You are me when I was 15.
That's sad.
No, I just made a bunch of superhero OCs when I was 15.
Oh, true. Oh, yeah, the one who makes sandwiches, or
The
whatever.
sandwich guy, yeah, I
It's just
enjoyed him.
It's just 625, but a superhero.
Oh yeah, he's not even a superhero. He's like cursed. Anyway.
Oh, okay, cool.
I should revisit those characters again. They were very funny. Let's go with the non-original one first.
Non-original one. Okay. So the one that I did not create.
The one that's based off of a different IP.
Okay. So Red Hood and the Outlaws is a thing I'm working on.
It's a hoodwinked one, isn't it?
No.
It's hoodwinked.
No. Maybe. It's not a hoodwinked thing. It's a.
God damn it.
It would have been really funny if it was.
I would have lost my goddamn mind.
So have you ever heard of Red Hood from the DC comics?
No.
Okay, so there was Robin, very famous character. Not sure if you've heard of him. Pretty big in comic circles. He was.
Yeah, he robs the rich and gives to the poor.
So Robin was Batman's. You're such a dumbass. You're such a dad.
Einstein wants what I have.
You're such a dad.
Anyway, tell me about your Robin Hood story.
So Robin,
I'm sorry.
Is Batman's sidekick. There've been a lot of different Robins over the years. The first one was Dick Grayson. He quit because Batman's a dick and he sucks to work for, and he went off and became Nightwing.
The idea that Batman is a shitty boss is really funny.
He's a shitty boss and a shittier dad. Also, it's worth noting that like most of the Robins are like Batman's adopted kids, except for like one of them who is his literal actual biological son, with like an international terrorist. But it's fine anyway. It's fine.
It's whatever.
It's fine. He's cool with it. The second Robin was Jason Todd, who he met on the streets trying to steal the hubcaps off of the Batmobile. He adopted Jason, and then Jason was not a very well liked Robin at the time, so DC held a contest to see whether or not they were gonna kill him off. So like,
oh wow,
so
okay,
yeah, so like it was basically like, call this number if you want Jason to live, call this number if you think he should die or whatever.
That's so funny. His fate lies in your hands, dear readers.
Well, here's the thing. It's really funny because so in the comic, Jason is pretty brutally murdered. He's like beaten to death by the Joker with a crowbar.
That sucks.
And then like the warehouse he's being kept in is like explodes. There's like a bomb in there and it goes off and the warehouse like crumbles and whatever, and Batman like finds him and like holds him and whatever, and it's like very, very sad but very like iconic image.
Yeah.
They released like what the image would have, what the final image of the story would have been if they voted to keep him alive, and it was going to be the exact same thing except for the final page where it's just Batman holding him up and he says, "He's alive, thank God." He just,
that's so funny,
inexplicably survived like being beaten senseless with a crowbar and having
blown up,
having a bomb dropped on him.
Good lord.
So Batman went on to have like 20 or 30 years of like just continuing being Batman with a couple different Robins and whatever, and Jason just stayed dead. He was one of the few characters who like stayed dead in comics like for a very long time. And then one day he just sort of came back. The original canon explanation was that Superboy punched reality.
Oh, come on.
They retconned that a bit, which I think is for the best.
Yeah, that sounds dumb as shit. I'm sorry. That sounds so
really
stupid.
Is. But anyway, he came back, vengeful against the Joker for killing him, and even more vengeful against Batman for not saving him and not avenging him by killing the Joker. So then he became like a villain for a bit, and now he's sort of more of an anti-hero, who's like just off doing his own thing under the guise of Red Hood. And now he has like a team of like other anti-heroes, like Arsenal, who used to be Green Arrow sidekick, and Starfire, who's I guess now an anti-hero in the comics.
It's Starfire, but she's edgy this time.
Yeah. The comics have not, at least the New 52 run. I haven't read the Rebirth one, but it looks pretty good. But the New 52 one has a bit where I think Starfire just point blank asks Arsenal if he wants to bone, which is very weird.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
It's very like, oh, look, we made your character that you liked from Teen Titans when you were a kid. She wants to
She
fuck.
fucks now.
Yeah.
Starfire fucks.
It really comes across like that. It kind of the entire comic really reminds me of like those comics from the 90s, like Youngblood and whatever, where they just travel around and they're like, we're anti-heroes and we're edgy and we're like dark and we're like serious and gritty and
we
real.
have sex now.
And we have sex and guns and we kill people and we're morally gray and whatever. And it really feels like one of those.
Boring.
But like I want to make it like fun and goofy and sort of like sort of, I want like Jason's like main like driving motivation force to be like he just wants approval from his like shitty dad.
No.
his shitty Batman dad. And like, yeah, I really for some reason, like whenever I'm like thinking of his character and like what I want him to be, I just keep thinking of like Kronk's New Groove, because if you've ever seen Kronk's New Groove,
I absolutely have.
The entire plot of that movie is that Kronk wants a big thumbs up from Poppy.
It's a good film. I remember enjoying it.
I don't.
Really? I watched it a lot as a kid. My family really liked it. I haven't seen it in a very long time. I'm willing to admit that it might not be as good as I remember, but I enjoyed it. I remember liking it a lot.
I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember watching it when I was like 14 or so and thinking like, oh, this sucks. But I was like that at that point, so... But
You were like mini nostalgia critic that's like, all movies are bad.
Yeah, pretty much. But I've also heard like a lot of times that like Kronk's New Groove is like widely considered one of the worst Disney sequels. So I'll have to revisit that. We'll revisit it for Deep Dive.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. In any event, so I'm working on just coming up with like character motivations. I'm really more focused on like with the other story I'm working on. I'm really trying to focus more on like the story and like the logistics behind it and whatever. And with this one, I'm trying to really focus more on like the characters and their like
that makes sense.
Motivations and drive, because like these characters already exist. I just need to figure out like how I would work with them. And I feel like
cool.
I just want them to be like fun and not like we're gritty and serious. Look, Arsenal has a trucker hat, so you know he's serious.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I gotta say, trucker hats don't immediately indicate seriousness to me.
No,
I've gotta say,
not.
I've really gotta put that out there.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta say, this kind of sounds like a Suicide Squad sort of situation, but like not just dog shit.
Yeah, that's definitely what I'm aiming for. I'm also like, when I'm not working on this and my other project, I am like very slowly coming up with like Suicide Squad, but good.
Yeah. I remember that was something that you mentioned on the podcast. That's an interesting project to take on.
Yeah. But like I also want to add like more people to the team. Mainly in regards to women.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because if it's just Jason and like Roy Harper, Arsenal, and like the hot, Starfire, but she's sexy and whatever, that's not a very good dynamic,
Yeah.
It's just two edgy, hornballed, like 20-somethings and like a hot alien girl, and like that doesn't feel great.
Yeah, you should add I have some suggestions, if I may.
Ooh, I'm ready to hear them.
You should add Raven, Beast Boy, and Cyborg, and just make Teen Titans again, but like plus Arsenal.
Plus Arsenal and with a different Robin.
Teen Titans plus this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about DC characters. I really don't.
That's fair. So the two characters...
You seemed like surprised when I was like, I have some suggestions. You seemed like I was going to actually like posit something worthwhile.
I was genuinely... Because you said it right after I said Starfire. And you said, I have some suggestions. And I'm like, he's going to say Raven. He's going to say Raven. And then you said Raven. And I was like, yeah. And they said Beast Boy. And I was like, oh.
And then just make Teen Titans again.
Just make Teen Titans again.
I enjoy Beast Boy, though. Like, from what I know about his character, he seems cool. I never watched Teen Titans as a kid. There was one episode that scared me, and I never watched it again.
That's fair.
I wish I had. I really wish I had, but I don't have the same nostalgia that other people do. I should watch it, like, for realsies.
Mm-hmm. So the two characters I want to add are... I have, like, one traditionally villain and one traditionally hero that I want to like sort of twist into sort of more of a like a grayish Suicide Squad-y anti-hero-ish adjacent thing.
Yeah.
So
Edgy.
Yeah.
The word is edgy.
Sure. So we have Dwayla Dent, who is the Joker's daughter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. You had a very excited look on your face.
The name's funny. It
Yeah.
sounds like toilet.
Yeah. I don't know if that's how her name's supposed to be pronounced. But so like her backstory.
Oh, I think it's Duella.
Dwella.
I think I know
okay.
who you're talking about.
That's
I think
true,
I know who
yeah.
you're talking about.
Because her character in the comics is like really complicated because she's sort of been everyone's daughter at some point, or claimed to have been, because her name is Dwella Dent, which is obviously Two-Face. There's the duel, and the surname is Dent. Like, there's that, and she's also said like, oh, I'm also like the Riddler's daughter, and I'm like also Catwoman's daughter, and I'm also this character's daughter. But then it's like revealed that she's actually the Joker's daughter from another universe, and then she came over and was adopted by Two-Face for a bit, and then she left or something, and it's a lot. I'm just gonna say she's just the Joker's daughter.
Sounds kind of dumb.
Yeah, the comics are stupid, is the thing.
Yeah, comic books are bad.
The thing you're forgetting is that comic books are really dumb. Hey, so Leo.
Yes.
I know I'm in the middle of this like whole spiel and whatever, but I really gotta take a shit.
I have to pee! Perfect! Okay.
Amazing.
We've had to clap back in twice so far.
Yeah.
We've clapped 3 times, but we've had to redo it twice.
Yeah.
So you were talking about your Robin movie.
Yeah. Red Hood.
Yeah, I was gonna say Red Robin, and I was like, that's a burger chain.
That's actually also the third Robin. Tim Drake started calling himself Red Robin when he stopped being Robin.
Yum.
Yeah, that's what I think whenever I see Red Robin, like the superhero. I'm like, that's yum. That's a restaurant.
Just quietly sing
Yum.
yum.
So we have Jason Todd, Red Hood. We have Roy Harper, Arsenal. We have Coriander, which is a terrible name for
Hate that so
alien.
much. It's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's cilantro. Are you kidding me? This bitch's name is cilantro. DC? DC, I just want to talk.
Turn on your location.
So stupid.
Yeah. I know, but it's different because it has a K and an apostrophe. So you know it's an alien. And not a spice you put that tastes like a soap to some people.
Yeah, some people have the soap gene.
Yeah, the soap gene. We have Dwella Dent, Harlequin. We have is that everyone I've said so far? Okay, we're throwing in the fifth person I want to throw in there is Harper Row, Bluebird. She's also part of the Batman team. She's like a pretty recent addition. I don't know a whole lot about her except for I like her style. She has like blue hair and like a nose ring and whatever, so you know she's...
So she looks gay.
Yeah, so you know she's
So she looks gay.
Yeah, she looks gay.
She's very modern.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well, it's because like you don't see a whole lot of like characters like that from like in comic books that have like funky colored hair and like piercings and whatever, unless they're like gay. And I don't think she's gay actually. Like, which
What
is
the fuck?
wasted potential.
Yeah, what the hell? Why
So-
make a character that's obviously flagging without making them gay?
I'm making her bi.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fair.
I'm definitely making her bi. I'm definitely gonna have it like she's hot for Jason and also Starfire. Coriander. Corey.
Coriander.
Well, like, I think her human name is Corey Anderson. Which is...
Comic books were a mistake. That's so stupid.
Yeah. So, So we have Corey, Jason, Harper, Roy. Roy and Jason are like, those guys who, like, they're not gay. Like, they're super duper straight. They're totally into women. But, like, when it's just the two of them, they're so gay with each other,
Like, gamer dude bros that's like, oh, suck my dick, bro.
No, more in the way of, like, I'm trying to think of a way to put this, like I don't want to say bromance because it's stupid.
So stupid.
It's so stupid, but, like, kind of like that, of, like, they would, like they're, you could see them on, like, a rooftop, like, talking about their feelings or whatever, like they do in movies and whatever. Like, hey, let's just go out on the roof and talk about our feelings, bro. No homo,
bro. Bro, you're my world, bro. Homo not intended.
Bro, you're holding my hand, bro.
Bro, we are kissing now. Don't stop, bro.
Brutus, stop. Brutus, you're sucking on my toes. Knock it off.
Bro, we are honking now.
People will think something's up, Brutus. But yeah, I think they would have, like, that kind of a dynamic where, like, they're not gay, but they could be in another life,
Yeah. Or if they got over their internalized homophobia.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Duella's thing is she hates the Joker because,
he sucks and is bad.
He sucks and is bad. So, like, I think her and Jason would, like, get along pretty well. Not in, like, a romantic way, but in sort of, like, we have a lot in common. We both have beef with Joker. We both have shitty dad stuff. We both have daddy issues. And we both, like, our lives were fucking ruined by the Joker. And here's the thing. Hot take. The Joker isn't the main villain of the movie.
Oh yeah, fuck him.
Because I'm so sick of, like, I like the character, okay? I'm playing Batman Arkham Knight right now. Again, for, like, the third time. And he's great. Like, when you give him, like, a good writer, like, he's fantastic. He's a really interesting and really funny and interesting, like, and weird and like, surprising character, but so often in movies he's not given a good writer.
I saw a post that was talking about how the way that the Joker was written for the Lego Batman movie is one of the best ones.
Oh, for sure.
Because they don't rely on, like, shock value nonsense.
Yeah.
They actually, like, have to do something besides, like, oh, he's so edgy and kills people and blah, blah, blah. So they actually had to, like, put forth effort into making him interesting.
I like that version for a lot of reasons. Also because it elevates the Joker is a little bit very gay for Batman subtext to text, almost.
Yes.
Which I think is very smart because, I mean, come on. Stop being around the bush with the DC. We all know that which team the Joker's on.
There was one, the only thing I know about that movie, since I haven't seen it, is just, like, the scene where, Robin is like, my friends call me Dick, and Batman's like, well, children can be cruel.
Yeah.
Which is just so funny.
Yeah. That's one of the things that, like, that's endured about, like, the Batman mythos and whatever, that, like, really surprises me. That, like...
Yeah, his name is still Dick.
Yeah, you'd think they would have started calling him Richard or Rich or...
Rick. Or
Rick.
Ricky or something.
You're Rich. Literally anything but Dick. His name's still
They're still just
Dick.
like, hey, this is my sidekick, Cock.
I think it's smart that, in, Arkham Knight, whenever you're talking to Alfred or whatever, he refers to him as Master Grayson and not Master Dick. Because if he called him Master Dick, it would be something else.
Just call him Dick Master.
Cocklore. Oh my god. So yeah, I want the main villain to be Clayface.
Okay.
Because that's a Batman villain that we've never seen in a movie before, and we very rarely see in, like, anything. And I think part of it might be because, like, the effects is, like, tricky on him. Because he has to be, like... He has to be both, like, a human being and also, like, an amorphous blob man.
As we all do.
Yeah. So, I'm having a bit of trouble figuring out what his deal is. Like, how he ties into the Outlaws, the team. Because in the comics, his thing is that he's an actor. Like, a really, like... Usually he's, like, a B-movie actor, like, for, like schlocky horror movies or whatever. But he's, like, very handsome and distinguished, and then he gets into some sort of freak accident, and he tries on, like, some like, plastic surgery or some sort of cream that can, like, get rid of his scarring or something or other, and it turns him into a shape-shifting glob man. And
That sounds cool.
It sounds cool, but, like, ultimately it has nothing to do with this team of people who hate the Joker, basically, you know?
It sounds kind of silly.
Yeah.
When
I
you
was
say
thinking...
shifting...
What were you
When
gonna
you say, like... When you say, like, Blob Man, it just reminds me of a scene in RoboCop where, like, the main villain falls into a vat of toxic waste and, like, literally melts, and it's, like, really gross, awesome practical effects. I really enjoy RoboCop.
Yeah.
It's probably, like, actually a really shitty movie, but I think it's just, like, fucking hilarious. It's really fun.
I mean, that's kind of the backstory for, like, half of Batman's villains. Is they
Oh, yeah,
fell into
absolutely.
some sort of toxic goo or something or other.
They're evil now because they're ugly.
They're evil now because... Shit.
Yeah.
That really... Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wait a second!
That really just hit me. Yeah, like... Huh.
That's, like, a common thing. Like, villains are usually portrayed as being, like, ugly and, like...
Yeah.
Or, like, bad-looking, and, like, the heroism is equated with beauty.
That's true. I always, like... Because I usually think of, like, characters like, you know, the Riddler or whatever, and, like, Harley Quinn, who's, like, hot and shit. But then I think about, like, Two-Face is, like,
Yeah.
horribly scarred on his entire body, and, like, the Joker is this, like, awful, just horrible-looking man. There's Clayface, who's just a gross blob. That's definitely, like, a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
There's literally a zombie Batman fight sometimes. Called Solomon Grundy. Like the nursery rhyme.
Solomon Grundle.
It's Solomon Grumplestan.
Solomon Rumpelstiltskin.
In any event, so I'm kind of thinking maybe he's like an aspiring actor, but also was a part of Joker's like crew or whatever.
Maybe instead of, I don't know, because Joker's a clown, maybe he was like part of a circus or like a carnival crew. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, Joker's like his backstory, if there is one, because he's so mysterious. Don't know anything about him. He's so unpredictable. His backstory usually was he wasn't like an actual clown. He was like a struggling comedian, who then turned to a life of crime and then fell into the vat of toxic acid or whatever.
Why is it? Where do people find toxic acid?
There's like
where do people find these vats of waste?
In Gotham City, there's Ace Chemicals, which is it's just an entire chemical plant where like just every Batman villain ends up at one point or another, I guess.
Do they just like not have very good like waste disposal policies? I feel like the real villain here is pollution.
Maybe that has something to do with it, yeah. Well, like, it's interesting in the, like, Two-Face's origin in the, I say in the comics a lot in this episode, But like his original origin story is that he was like the DA, and then like some criminal like threw acid in his face. Like he just has it on him. Like he just reaches into his pocket and is like, "Here, Harvey, have some of this." Like it's just something you can do in a courtroom. Like,
I guess, yeah.
Oh hey, I smuggled this in when no one was looking. Here.
I keister stashed it.
And somehow, it scars only half of his body. Comics are stupid. You're right.
Yeah, comics are dumb as hell.
Anyway, so I'm working on that slowly but surely. I don't have much of a plot because I've been focusing more on like the character stuff. Conversely, good segue into the other thing I was going to talk about, which is Striking Gold, which is the what's that look for?
I have absolutely no idea what this is going to be about.
We've talked about this before, actually.
It's in the same series as Northern Fights, right?
Yeah. I like that you called it the jokey title we gave it for a second and then decided not to.
I mean, it's dumb, but I like it. I think it's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, it's in the same universe as Northern Fights, but it's not like connected in any way other than there's superheroes in the world. So this is it's a supervillain heist movie.
Okay.
So it's...
Oh, this is the thing that I storyboarded.
Yeah, it is. So
I storyboarded this
I
for
forgot
like
about that, yeah.
a beginning project in my class because we were talking about it like jokingly. I'm like, sure, I didn't have an idea for this project, so I'm gonna storyboard your characters.
Yeah. Just the one dude listening to Cobra Starship.
That was really funny.
So actually this movie is set around the time Cobra Starship would have been big, I think.
Fantastic.
So it's set in like 2011, 2012, somewhere around there, like sort of during like the recession. So like we focus on these two like super villains or former super villains. They've like retired. One of them got married and then got divorced, and the other one like had a kid. So now they're like just struggling to make ends meet. It's a tough sentence or phrase. Make
Is
ends
it?
meet. Well, I'm bad at words, so like maybe to someone who's actually smart. I don't know about you, Leo, but I was diagnosed smart by my counselor.
Your mental health professional officially diagnosed you with smart. That's really funny.
I have an IQ of smart.
I watch Rick and Morty, so...
I have seen every episode.
Yeah.
Anyway. You good?
I'm stretching.
Stretching like you're on a jungle gym. Alright, so and they're just hit with like the recession, and they're like they don't have like well-paying jobs. They're former supervillains, so like there's only so much you can do with that on your resume, you know. So eventually they just decide, you know what, we're not going to be able to like fund our lives in any other way. We might as well do like one last job. So it's like the classic like getting the group back together. And,
yeah, we're getting the band back together.
Yeah, or it's sort of like a new band of thieves. So they like go around the world and sort of get like the best of the best, or the best that they could get, you know?
Yeah.
So they get like, you know,
the best we could find.
And it's a bunch of super villains like teaming up to rob Fort Knox. Which is, I find very interesting that I actually did a little bit of digging when I was first coming up with the idea a couple of months ago. It's so hard to get into Fort Knox that only one movie has ever been about robbing Fort Knox, and it's a James Bond movie.
That's funny.
Like,
I really like the idea. Obviously, like, this seems like it's not going to be necessarily a comedy, but I love the idea that it's all just rumors. Like,
yeah.
there's, like, no security at all. It's, like, in the storyboard that I did, it's just some guy, like, some old-ass security dude with headphones in, listening to Cobra Starship and reading the newspaper. There's, like, no shark tanks, no laser beams, no fucking anything. It's all just hearsay. But people don't rob it because it's like, oh, well, fuck, we're gonna have to deal with the sharks.
We're
gonna get lasered by sharks.
The razor wire and tear gas and military base, and the fact that it's gold, which is really heavy and hard to carry.
Yeah.
So you would need, like, a bus or a copter or something. Which
just drive a bus into Fort Knox.
Yeah, which you can't do because it's a fucking military base.
Yeah.
And it's not like a former military. It's like active, so it's like it's a lot. And because it's a superhero world, you can do like you can get like even crazier, like make the stakes even like higher. Like, oh, there's also like just a giant man in the basement of Fort Knox who like is like the last line.
Just a big ass dude.
Yeah, he's just like 12 feet tall and like just like can only speak in like.
Hey, it's me, big guy. I'm the big man in Fort Knox.
I'm Big Carl, and I'm going to fuck you up.
Please put Big Carl in this movie.
Gladly. Oh my god. Big Carl. I think we found the title of this episode.
Big Carl.
I'm Big Carl.
Best Boys season finale, Big Carl.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah. So, right now, like, the main thing I'm trying to figure out is, like, who do we need on the team? Like, obviously we have, like, the two characters, who... it's like a brother and sister. One of them has like plant-based powers, and the other one has like fire powers. And like that's all I've got so far as far as like abilities are concerned. I think obviously we need like an inventor or like a hacker of some sort.
Yeah.
Like someone who could do like maybe like stealth. Or like covert whatever. Like a shapeshifter or like an invisible person or something. Just a dude that's like...
They just recruit Big Carl.
They just recruit Big Carl. Or like, you never saw Deadpool 2, right?
No, I have seen the first one though.
Yeah. So there's a character in Deadpool 2 when they're like recruiting their team. One of the guys they recruit is called Vanisher. And they, like, look around the room and they're like, did he ever show up? Or, oh, he's here. He's just invisible because he's Vanisher. Alright, yeah, you're good. You're on the team. And, like, it's sort of ambiguous as to whether or not, like, there's anyone there.
That's so funny.
Because they're like, oh, Vanisher. Like, oh, guys, you look great. Vanisher, I don't know what you look like, but I'm sure you look fantastic, you know? And then when they're all, like, parachuting down or whatever, spoilers, I guess, for Deadpool 2, like, every single one of them, like, meets a horribly death, including Vanisher, who is revealed to be Brad Pitt the entire time.
That's so funny.
He just gets electrocuted and he pops into, like, invisibility, and it's Brad Pitt. It's just for like 2 seconds of film, and like he's dead immediately.
That's really funny.
It's like the best joke in the entire movie.
I'm sure you look great. I don't know what you look like, but I'm sure you look fantastic.
And he did. He did look great. It's Brad Pitt. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm working on. Feel free to
That's cool.
Throw any concepts or bits out.
I like the idea of somebody being specifically handling like stealth and one person handling like technology shit, because I feel like technology would feature very heavily in the security system of Fort Knox.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of any like specific superpowers though that might, or yeah, superpowers that might be useful.
Yeah.
But
have you ever been to Superpowers Wiki?
no.
It's a wiki that is like every single superpower in like media. So there's like a page on like telekinesis, and it's like every
Oh,
character.
you know what?
in, like,
I've seen that. There was like a Tumblr post. It was like if you hit the randomize button, it'll reveal what your superpower is or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's true. I'm gonna do that right now. See what I get.
Okay, here's a new segment.
This is a one-off segment, I think.
This one-off segment is you fall into a vat of acid. What is your new superpower?
Fantastic.
Acid roulette.
Let's see what we get. Acid roulette. Let's see what we get.
Boo, 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 boo. That's the song.
Oh, good. Okay. Where's the randomized button? I'm not seeing it. Explore. Random page. Here we go.
Yes.
Oh, I got a person from My Hero Academia.
You are that person now.
Alright, I guess I'm Hitoshi Shinzo. It doesn't say what his power is, it just says he exists.
Who the fuck is that?
I don't
What
fucking
is-
know.
What does he look like?
He's got purple hair.
Yeah, I have no idea. I never watched
Yeah.
My Macadamia.
I didn't get that far into My Macadamia, but it's pretty good. Okay, I hit it again. I got Human Torch, in parentheses, Marvel Zombies. So I got the Marvel Zombies version of the Human Torch.
So it's not superpowers, it's just random people with superpowers.
Oh, I got... Oh my god. I got Superhero Wiki. I'm so
Oopsie.
dumb. Superpower Wiki. There we go.
Bit postponed. Hold on. Segment canceled.
I was so confused. I was like, what the hell am I getting this?
Your superpower is being assigned a kin type by this website.
Oh.
Oh fuck, okay.
Arab deity physiology. So I have the physiology of an Arab deity.
I don't like the way... What does that mean?
So,
Is it like a djinn? Or like a genie?
like, you basically, like, have the powers of, like, I guess of, like, an Arabian god.
Interesting.
The
Fascinating.
user can have the traits and abilities of pre-Islamic Arab deities.
Interesting. Of which I know nothing about.
Yeah, there are 3 examples of this in media. All of them are from... Oh no, 2 of them are from... Let me start over. One of them is from an anime or a manga or whatever, and she looks like this.
Oh, of course
Let me
she
turn
does.
the brightness down so you can get a real look of all of that.
Oh, good lord.
Just like the most
It's, like, entirely
outrageously big
tits.
Yeah, it's
It's like tits and like demon horns.
yeah, the tits take up at least 25% of the image.
Yeah, honestly.
The other
That looks like something Tyler has as their like wallpaper on their computer.
the other person is called Nergal from The Wicked and the Divine, which I guess is a comic book. They look like this.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that. I've seen that in my local comic book store in my hometown.
And the other one is from American Gods, which is a show I've never seen.
And a book series by Neil Gaiman.
Oh yeah, I guess it's.
Yeah.
I guess the image is from the TV show version. I'm gonna hit randomize again and see what you get.
Yeah, what's my power?
Your power is okay. It brought me right back to Arab deity physiology.
Arab deity physiology 2.
Okay. You're super. Oh, this is actually perfect for you. Warship personification physiology.
What?
So you're basically a transformer.
Oh, fuck!
You're
That's
like
so fun!
You're like a human transformer. You're like a cyborg, but your robot half is like a warship.
A car.
It's like no, straight up a warship.
Oh god, that's terrifying.
Yeah. User
Anyway,
with
that was an
disability.
interesting segment.
User with disability either is or can transform into a ship girl, the personification representation of a warship into human form. Due to the nature of ships being referred to in a female context, users are typically female. It's pretty transphobic, but go off.
Fuck! It's one of it's that anime. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the World War II anime where like all like the fucking God, what is it? Like the Bismarck is like an anime girl.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
Well,
there's
that's
a show
my
called.
superpower.
There's a show called. There's a bunch of these. It just says entire cast and then like a show next to it.
Yeah.
So,
What is
like,
the show called?
There's a couple of them. There's Azure Lane, Battleship War Girl, The Mirage of Steel Blue, Victory Bells, and Warship Girls. That's
Damn, none of those actually sound familiar.
There's
But I know
5
that
of
that's a
them.
thing.
Yeah, there's 5 of them. Isn't that one dude on Tumblr like into that?
Oh, he's into like
He's into trains.
trains. Yeah, like anthropomorphized trains with like huge fucking bazoongas. Just fucking massive Wampy Damper fuckalongas.
Whoa. You just pulled that one right out of the dome. I was literally just thinking like, oh yeah, like that one post where it's just like the biggest, dumbest word for boobs ever.
That was one of the words. I
Yeah.
I like made a point to memorize it because it was so funny.
I know, because I was thinking like, oh yeah, that one word that's like stupid and long. And then you said it like, perfectly, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Leo
Wampy
got me.
Damper fuckalongas. Yep, that's it.
It's like when I was like when I was like 14 or 15. I made myself memorize or teach myself how to say Rexacorcophalopatorius from Doctor Who
Except
to prove
it's
that I
even
was
worse.
a real nerd.
Except it's even worse because it's just like some one-off stupid Tumblr post.
Yeah.
I'm glad you recognized the word. That's really funny.
Yeah. We've all seen it.
Yeah.
All
Don't
three
try
of
to
us.
say you haven't. And that's joke about how we have one listener, number 6.
Look, I say if we're gonna keep making jokes about it, we have to like at least get a little creative with it.
So I have something I want to talk about.
Yes.
I have a new project that I'm beginning, and because I have...
I thought you were gonna say you have a new segment, and I was horrified. I was like, ooh, what's this gonna be?
come up with a new word for boobs. No. Because I live with a programmer, I am actually like... And I have like an...
I forgot you were gonna talk about this.
Yeah, because I have like somebody else that I'm gonna be collabing with on this project, as well as like you and Sasha helping me voice act, which I haven't actually talked to Sasha about yet. I'm like...
This will be a fun way for her to find out.
I don't think she listens to the podcast.
No, I know, but wouldn't it be funny?
Yeah. So Tyler and I are supposed to be collabing because Tyler's been wanting to make a game and has wanted me to do concept art for it for like a while, but has just like never given me the like, because Tyler, like, not to be mean, but Tyler can't draw. Like, Tyler doesn't really know how to like make reference pictures for me to work off of because they just don't draw.
Yeah. You told me that like they were trying to like learn, or you were teaching them or something.
They drew one thing, and that's like the last I heard.
Okay.
I got them some like drawing books for their birthday, and I don't think they've been. I don't think they've been used. But though to be fair, Tyler works overnights and is like sleeping all the time or at work, so it's really not surprising that they haven't been able to like do a whole lot. But anyway,
or playing horny games.
Yeah, that's true. But Tyler and I have been wanting to collaborate on a video game for a long time, and it was. The original plan was to do one of Tyler's game ideas, and then I just do concept art for it so that they can model it in, like, Maya or Blender or whatever. And, which wouldn't be, like, too labor-intensive on my part, but,
real quick, Maya, you said Maya, and it reminded me, one of the best Boyz Deep Dive topics we're going to be talking about is VeggieTales.
Oh, yeah.
So...
We met through Maya. That's
We
fun.
met through Maya, yeah.
Yeah, we took that like stupid bullshit 3D design class, and
then
our teacher sucked.
And then I dropped it because our teacher sucked, and then you were upset with me for dropping it.
Yeah, and I wound up getting a 97 in the class, so
Yeah,
it really wasn't that big of a deal.
I wound up getting a nothing in the class.
Yeah, a big old fat goose egg.
Yeah. Also, sorry, I keep cutting you off.
I want to talk about my project.
I just forgot to mention, this is what my voice actually sounds like, because this would be the first episode that we'd actually be using my actual voice and not like pitched up, kind of not well sometimes.
Oh, you don't want to do that anymore?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I feel like you mentioned like tweaking it, but I didn't know that you wanted to actually just cut it out altogether.
Yeah, I'm at the point where it's like, you know what, this is just how I sound. It's whatever.
I do want it pitched up for your part in the project that I'm working on, though, because that's
sure.
what
Yeah.
that's what I think of in my head when I am like designing these characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what Jessie sounds like, so that's cool.
Yeah, I sound
leave it
like a little bit of a slug and a cactus had a sort of baby going on.
Aw, cactus slug. That sounds kind of cute.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
I want to draw that right now.
dude. Yeah, I want to see this cactus slug.
I want to make you feel better about your voice.
Leo, you're my best friend.
I sure fucking am. Don't you forget it. This is a cute little dude. I'm gonna give him one of those big old like cactus like flowers like on one of his eye stalks.
Yay.
There we go. This is a bad episode. This episode just like makes no fucking sense.
No, it's fun. We're having a big ol'. We're having a snail of a time.
Die. Wait.
That was really funny. I really got myself there.
Here you go, idiot. Enjoy your snail. I just Snapchatted it to you.
I'm gonna make you feel better. You're dumb. Oh, that's that's actually not what I was expecting. I was expecting like the shell to be the cactus, like, and it would just be like a regular slug. But this is very cute, or a snail rather.
You said slug, so I drew a slug.
Oh, did I say? I did say slug. You're right.
Yeah, you said slug instead of snail.
That's true. Either way, this is very cute, and I love it. Thank you.
His name is Wampy Damper Fuckalongus.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay, so Tyler and I are wanting to collab on a video game, and it was originally going to be one of Tyler's ideas, but Tyler just never gave me anything to work with, so we never began collabing on anything. But I played Monster Prom with my friends like once, and I was like, I must make a dating sim right now immediately.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm making a dating sim. It's going to be very simplified. I wanted there to be very small, very simple, like, player character customization, because in Monster Prom, you can choose from, like, 4 specific character designs, and you can choose, like, the pronouns for the character and the name, but that's pretty much it. You can't really choose anything as far as, like, appearance goes, except for, like, choosing amongst the 4 characters. But, for mine, I wanted there to be, like, a couple of different things that you can do, like, the color of the, player character. It's mostly just going to be, like, a silhouette, like, no face or anything, but, like, you could choose the color, the hairstyle, and, like, some very basic, like, clothing choices. And, there's only going to be 4 romance options instead of, like, 6 or something crazy, but, I was like, okay, so 4 options, should they be based on something, because things come in 4s, and I was thinking about elements, and I was like, oh, an elemental dating sim. I feel like that's something that other people have done before, but I could make it my own. But the more I thought about it, the more I decided to base all of these characters on seasons. So I'm going really, really on the nose with all of these characters. It's just for fun. This project is not supposed to be anything, like, it's not going to take itself too seriously in any way. So the characters are Clover, Leaf, Sunny, and Snow. And I'll give you four guesses which each of the characters' season is supposed to represent. So,
And I would die for all of them.
yeah, they're pretty cute. I drew up concept art for them. I have them on my Instagram.
Clover.
I know you like Clover.
She's my favorite.
I know. I know she is. I like, because when I worked on Lime Man and my teacher wanted me to, so I voice acted the entire thing at first, and my teacher was like, oh, you need to get different voice actors for the different characters because it's like a pitch, but the pitch that she showed us was just one guy doing all of the voices. So of course I was like, she's very inconsistent. So I was like not super happy about that because I had to get, for one, people to provide voices for a project and take like time from them, and like for something that I didn't even really want. Like, you obviously like helped me with Neighbor Girl, and like Tyler voiced Apple Guy, and I got my friend Aaron to be Lime Man's boss, which was like cool, and I'm glad that everybody was able to help me out. But I still felt bad because it's like, yeah, I'm asking you to do this for me when I don't even really want to do this. And the main problem that I had with it was that I didn't picture these characters sounding like you guys, which is like, that sucks. Like, I had like voices in my head, like, that I thought of when I made these characters, and it didn't match anybody that I knew, so I just kind of was like, okay, whatever, I guess I'll just like throw Jessie in there, which like sucked because I was like, hey, can you do this for me? It's for a grade, but also I don't really want to do it. So in order to avoid that, because I wanted there to be partial voice acting in this dating sim, like, are you familiar with the way that like partial voice acting works in video games? Specifically, like dating sims?
It's like the ha.
And then like there's text that you read.
Yeah. That's like most RPG type things.
Yeah, like instead of like the entire dialogue being voice acted, the character will just be like, "Oh, really?" And then like the text is like an entire paragraph. But
I'm used to it being like they make some sort of anime noise, like a huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
In Monster Prom there's like a couple of phrases. It's mostly like noises, but there was one, I think the like snake lady was like, hey you, or like good to see you, or something, and then I wound up romancing Liam, the shitty hipster vampire dude. I like him, he's fun. But like when I actually wound up like dating him officially and like asking him to prom, and I like won the game, I guess, because I was able to actually like date him, when he like popped up on the screen and it was like, yeah, he accepted or whatever, he says, how ironic. Like there's like little phrases that I'm wanting to do, but in order to avoid like, these characters don't match what I want them to sound like, but I still wanted them to be voice acted, I just basically based these characters off of me, my partner, and my friends. But like the more, because like I use like you and Sasha and Tyler and myself as like baselines for these characters, but like the more I develop them, the more I want them to be like, you know, separate entities. Because I feel like it'd be weird to like make a dating sim and it's like, hey, date me and my friends. It's weird.
Yeah.
And especially because like me and
it'd definitely be weird for me because like I'm definitely gonna go for Clover, and it would be weird to date myself.
Yeah, I like the more I develop these characters, because this always happens. Like I'll create a character, I'll like make an OC or whatever, and I'll be like, okay, this is how they are. And then like every time I think about them or draw them or like develop something about them, it always changes. So I know that these characters are going to evolve past like, this is just Jessie, or like this is just me. But
you should also throw in a background character who is literally just me.
just like the little rabbit that I draw for our channel. Just that, just in the background.
Oh, that'd be cute. That could be in like Clover's little spring domain.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Just a little rabbit Jessie.
and a full ass alligator Leo, just like in the river.
Yeah.
Clover wrestles alligators in her spare time. But I also thought it'd be weird because, like, Tyler and I are dating each other, so it's like, hey, come date me and my partner, but, like, not both of us in a poly relationship, just date one of us. Figure it out, asshole. But, I'm working on developing the characters a little bit further past, like, just having them being based on our friends. But, so, Sunny is based off of myself. He's the summer spirit. Tyler's gonna be voicing Leaf, who is the autumn spirit. Jessie is voicing Clover, who is spring, and I picture Sasha voicing Snow, who's the winter spirit. I haven't officially asked, but I don't know, maybe if I say, like, hey, if it gets big, maybe Rooster Teeth will play it or something. Yeah. Maybe that'll make them, like, interested in doing it. It just hasn't come up in conversation. We've been talking about visiting and stuff. But, so, and one of the things that I wanted to, like, address in developing these characters and developing, like, the player character was, so this is just a game that I'm making with my friends. Like, it's not a big studio. I don't have a whole lot of resources. I don't have a whole lot of, like, voice actors to pull from. And, like, I don't want to make characters of color and then having them being voiced by white people. I feel like that's shitty. Mm-hmm. So in order to it's definitely a cop-out. I'm 100% admitting that it's a cop-out, but I'm making the characters, like, green and pink and, like, orange. Like, the characters don't have, like, canon races or skin tones in, like, the real world. And I understand that that's a cop-out. I understand that that's, like, oh, we'll just make characters of color. Like, absolutely. But I don't want Jessie voicing a black lady. That's weird. Like, that's awful.
Mm-hmm. I would not feel comfortable voicing a black lady.
Absolutely. Like, I'm not going to make me or any of my friends do that because that's, like, I don't know, it's bad. Like, having white people voicing characters of color is not good, so I wanted to avoid doing that in my own work.
What about the Cleveland show?
That's also bad.
What about the Cleveland show, Leo?
What about it, Jesse?
I don't even have a retort. I don't know what response I was expecting, but it wasn't that.
And for the player character, because I also wanted the player character to be some sort of elemental spirit of any kind, but also, like, ascribing elements and, like, natural things to skin tone gets dicey. Like, I don't want to be responsible for being like, oh, if you're a dark-skinned character, you are the patron element or saint or whatever of this thing, because that sucks. Like, equating human beings to, like, rocks and, like, trees, and it's not good. It's just, like, kind of a shitty situation to be in. So the player characters, you can choose between gray and, like, literally black and white, like a newspaper. So you can choose, like, how dark or light your skin tone to be. No red. There's no red ones. I mean, Sunny's, like, orange.
No, but Leo, it's the newspaper.
I know.
Because the joke is black and white and red all over. Because you read a newspaper, you silly goose.
I'm not entertaining this bit. But... So I wanted there to be...
It's probably the best that we're not recording the Boo Brothers thing tonight because I'm feeling silly.
I'm tired.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're tired. It's real silly hours.
You're entering the silly zone.
The silly zone.
But yeah, I didn't want to, like, get into, like, weird issues with that because it is just, like, a simple game that I'm developing with, like, me and my partner and, like, 2 of my friends are gonna voice act in it. It's not, like, a huge deal, but I still want to be responsible with the way that I handle these characters. So if anybody has, like, better ideas on how to traverse that, I would love to hear them, but this is kind of what I've decided on. Like, I don't know. I know it's not a perfect solution, and I'm totally willing to admit that, but it's the best that I could come up with given, like, my resources at my disposal, because I don't know how to program. Tyler's gonna do that for me.
Yeah.
I'm just drawing shit on my iPad right now. I'm just having a good time.
Yeah.
But
every time, like, you post a drawing of Clover, my heart grows a little bit bigger.
Good! I like Leaf. Leaf is cute. I feel like if people actually play this game, people are gonna like Leaf because they're, like, shy and, like, kind of edgy, but, like, not really.
I feel
I
like
don't
people
know.
are gonna like Clover because she's like cute and ditzy.
Yeah. I wonder...
Which makes me feel good about myself because I'm cute and ditzy.
Tyler... Leaf is basically just, like, a cross between, like, my partner and Snufkin, and, like...
So you're two partners.
No! I'll say I have crushes on both of them. We'll put it that way. Honestly,
remember
like...
the other day when I said something about liking Snufkin, and I said, don't get jealous, Leo, and you went, I know he's not real, Jessie.
I know he's not real. I just think he's nice.
You got a little defensive. It was funny.
I just think he's nice.
I just think he's neat.
I just think he's neat.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on for a bit, and I'm excited about it, and I want to learn how to, like, actually properly program shit. I looked up, like, open source, like, kind of like RPG Maker style programs where you can just, like, plug in assets and it'll just, like, kind of make a game for you. But if I have Tyler at my disposal, Tyler's like, yeah, I could just make some templates for you and you could just drop shit in and, like, do whatever. But I also want to, like, actually learn how to code and program and shit so I can do it in the future if I need to. So I think it'll be a learning experience, and I think it'll be real fun. But I don't expect it to be a very long game. I don't know how any of this works, so I'm just going to play it by ear. But I'm developing concept art. Next, I'm going to probably work on backgrounds and, like, assets where, like, the text boxes and, like, the buttons and shit and how that looks. But
for some reason, I thought you said, and next I'm going to work on Batman. And I was
Batman!
like, what?
I'm gonna work. Next time, I was actually commissioned to work on a Batman comp. No. That would have been dope.
If you, like, didn't tell me that and just saved it for the podcast, I'd be a little upset with you.
I feel like you would have shit your pants and also been, like, kind of jealous.
I so would have been jealous. I'd be like, hey, can you put in a good word for me to, like, write?
I would have, like, 100% been like, yeah, I would have understood if you had been jealous of a situation like that.
Yeah.
I would not have held it against you in any way, shape, or form because
Yeah.
I don't even really like Batman that much, so that wouldn't be fair.
Yeah. I really... You know, I'm kind of curious to see, like, how you would draw the Batman characters now. Like, I want to see them in your style.
Probably not great.
I don't know, I
don't
kind
know.
of want to see them in your style. I think it'd be fun.
I'm not good at drawing, like, harsh shading.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's definitely a theme with, like, Batman comics, is that the shading, the cell shading is, like, very dramatic, and I'm not really good at that. I like drawing soft, cute things.
For sure, yeah. I mean, just drawn in your style. Like, I want to see, like, the characters
Soft.
in your style, yeah.
Soft Dick Grayson.
This
A soft boy.
a soft dick. That's where I thought you were. That's where I thought you were going with it.
Mr. Flaccid.
A master dick.
Master Dick. Cocklord.
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 Cocklord. I should, like... I'm gonna write down, like, in, like, the list of deep dive topics, I'm gonna write down, like, Jessie poorly explains the DC universe.
Oh, no. I would have a headache by the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, all the more reason to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
This episode is going to be a fucking nightmare to edit.
Yeah. God, this list is very long of, like, things.
Jessie, I don't want to edit this one.
I can edit it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for the first season of Best Boys. I was going to say, like, sorry, but also, I'm not sorry. We figured some shit out, and I had fun, and so did Jessie, so fuck you guys.
I'm sorry we're like this.
No,
I'm sorry we allowed our show to be this.
We've had a great time recording, and we just want to make it better for whatever we wind up doing in the future. So that's why we're going to take this little, not hiatus, it's more of just like a reformatting of the channel and like the shows that we're doing. But you can look forward to more Best Boys episodes, updating on projects that we're working on, and we're going to get real into Best Boys Deep Dive, and we're probably going to be focusing on that at least for the summer. So
Also, we forgot to mention, there's going to be some video components to some of the deep dive episodes.
Oh yeah, Jessie was wanting to turn some of the episodes, not entire episodes, but like condense
Whittle
them
it down,
into
sort
like
of, yeah.
Yeah, condense them into like abridged versions and
Into
make,
more,
little
like a
video
more,
essays of them.
yeah, a more digestible, like, sort of like half of the podcast basically, and just like into a video version with like accompanying footage to like further elaborate. Like, say I'm talking about Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers, which is definitely going to be a video because I gotta get into like how the animation is and whatever, and it's easier to do that when like there's a video reference for it as opposed to just like, but also there is going to be like an extended audio version like of the regular podcast that you can just listen to. Also, we're looking into getting an RSS feed slowly but surely.
God, yeah, we are like the most unprofessional podcast on the planet. I don't mind hosting
we are not the most unprofessional podcast, don't you worry.
That's fair, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not like super concerned about hosting on YouTube. I don't personally mind it. I like having our shit on one channel, but
I don't mind it, but I also would like to listen to, my podcast, like just our podcast, sorry, shit. Just like walking around campus or whatever. And
yeah, that's
it
true.
just eats battery and like data and whatever to like to do that on YouTube.
Evil podcast eats your phone battery. I'm gonna eat your data. Alright, well, thank you for joining us on this first season. We look forward to producing more content in a more streamlined and, I don't know, just make it make more sense and have more fun with it because we won't feel bad about talking about Moomin for 3.5 hours, so whatever.
Yeah. That sure is something that's gonna happen.
Buckle up, idiot.
Buckle up, Dorothy. This ain't Kansas anymore.
Oh, you can find us on social media. I am at GouacheBoy on Twitter, GOUACHE_boy. Our fan of the show told me that they couldn't find me on Twitter because they didn't know it was an underscore, so I'm gonna clarify. Gouache_boy on Twitter. I'm just gonna start promoting my art Instagram. It's gboydles, G.BOYDLES. That's my art Instagram, and that's where I'm gonna be posting updates on. Oh, the dating sim that I'm creating. The working title is Seasonal Fling, so that's what I'm gonna be.
Super cute.
I think that's a pretty clever one. I'm
Yeah.
willing to workshop it, but I think it's.
I like it a lot.
So I'm going to be posting updates on there, and as well as just like other bullshit art that I do. And where can we find you, my friend?
And I am at I'm Okay at Things on Twitter.
All one word.
All one word. And at Grinch_fat on Instagram. On Twitter, it's mostly me occasionally retweeting memes and plugging my NSFW account. That I don't really use that much.
Okay.
And Instagram is mostly me taking cute bathroom selfies.
So you don't really put your body of work online at all, do you?
Not a whole lot. I don't really have a whole lot of... I have a lot of body, but I don't have a lot of body of work.
What does that mean?
I'm fat.
Oh.
I'm Grinch fat.
I'm fat.
I'm chumby.
Chumbly. Alright, well, thank you for joining us on this episode of Best Boys. Thank you for joining us for our finale.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for this season, this series, this seasonal fling of Best Boys.
Yeah, there we go. And this is a real fucking long episode, so have a good night, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Next time.